Stormy Daniels is now trying to force President Trump to answer questions under oath.
The adult film star claims they had a one-time sexual encounter back in 2006. Her attorney, Michael Avenatti, filed a motion overnight asking a federal judge for permission to question the President of the United States and his private attorney, Michael Cohen, about a non-disclosure agreement. Daniels signed the document ahead of the 2016 election. She received a $130,000 payment from Michael Cohen.
The motion also asks for a jury to decide if that agreement preventing her from speaking out is valid. Paula Reid is at the White House with details from the overnight court filing. Paula, good morning.
Good morning. Now, this motion argues that the president has no protection from a civil lawsuit filed about something that happened before he entered the White House. In this new motion, Avenatti argues that the agreement his client signed was actually part of an effort to influence the election and therefore could have violated federal law.
A motion filed by Stormy Daniels' attorney, Michael Avenatti, seeks a deposition of no greater than 2 hours with both Mr. Trump and his personal attorney, Michael Cohen, to determine if the president had a role in the $130,000 payment from Mr. Cohen to Daniels 11 days before the presidential election.
And you had sex with him?
Yes. Among the questions Avenatti wants to ask the president, whether Mr. Trump is David Dennison, the name on the non-disclosure, also, whether Mr. Trump knew about the hush agreement and whether he authorized Mr. Cohen's actions.
Wow.
Any testimony given by the president or Cohen could also help determine if any campaign finance laws were broken.
Was it hush money to stay silent?
Yes. The story was coming out again.
The motion alleges Cohen's payment to silence Daniels was made to, quote, help ensure Mr. Trump won the 2016 presidential election. Avenatti says that would violate the Federal Election Campaign Act for the purpose of influencing any election for federal office. Ricky Kleeman is a CBS News legal analyst.
If you give an in-kind contribution, that has to be reported. None of this has been reported anywhere. Everything about this case is in the public interest. So while the deposition would take place behind closed doors, the public deserves the right to know.
David Schwartz, Michael Cohen's attorney, has denied the payment was related to the election.
Mr. Cohen paid the $130,000, but the reason is to protect business, protect reputation, and to protect family. And you cannot speculate that it was to elect somebody president of the United States.
The motion also makes reference to another famous presidential deposition.
I don't recall.
Avenatti claims the Supreme Court case of President Bill Clinton versus Paula Jones established the Constitution does not offer a sitting president significant protections from civil litigation.
I've just received a reaction from Mr. Cohen's attorneys. They describe this motion as, quote, a reckless, politically motivated charade. It's also important to note that while this non-disclosure is currently being contested, Mr. Cohen's attorneys, they insist that this is still a valid agreement and that Ms. Daniels is bound by it and could potentially be liable for penalties each time she speaks about her affair with the president. Gayle?
All right, Paula, thank you.